What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing, and today I'm going to be predicting the outcome of Daniel Jacobs versus John Ryder, and this is going to be a 12-rounder for the WBA Super-Middleweight World Title Eliminator, and this fight is going to be Saturday, February 12th from the Alexandra Palace in Muswell Hill, London, England, and this fight is going to be broadcasted on the Zone, and to get both fighters' resumes, Daniel Jacobs, fighting out of the United States, holds a record of 37 wins, 3 defeats with 30 wins coming by way of knockout. He's currently not ranked by BoxRec in the super middleweight division due to inactivity. However, he is the former WBA as well as the former IBF middleweight world champion. And now to list all three of his defeats, he has a knockout loss years ago against Dimitri Pirog, and that was for the vacant WBO middleweight world title. He also has a unanimous decision defeat to Triple G Gennady Golovkin, and that was for the unified WBC, WBA, and IBF middleweight world titles. And to list his last loss, it came by unanimous decision to current pound-for-pound star and fighter of the year for 2021, Canelo Alvarez, and that was also for the unified WBC, WBA, and IBF middleweight world titles. And now to list some of his best victories, he has a unanimous decision win over former world champion Ishe Smith. He has a knockout victory over former champion Caleb Truax, a knockout win, or two knockout wins, I should say, over Sergio Mora. He also has a first-round knockout victory over Peter Quillen, a unanimous decision victory over Luis Arias. He also has a unanimous decision win over Maciej Sulecki, a split decision victory over Sergey Derevyanchenko. He also has a knockout victory over Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., and he's coming off a lackluster split decision victory over Gabriel Rosado. And in that fight, I actually thought that Rosado should have got the victory, but it was a very competitive yet boring fight. And now to get his opponent's resume, John Ryder, fighting out of England, holds a record of 30 wins, 5 defeats, with 17 wins coming by way of knockout. He's currently ranked number 4 by BoxRec in the super middleweight division, and he is the former WBA interim super middleweight world champion. And now to list all 5 of his defeats, he has a unanimous decision loss to Billy Joe Saunders, a knockout loss to Nick Blackwell, a unanimous decision defeat to Jack Arnfield, a split decision defeat to former champion Rocky Fielding, and he also has a very controversial unanimous decision loss for the super middleweight world titles against Callum Smith, and many people thought that Ryder should have won the fight. And now to list some of his best victories, he has a knockout win over Jamie Cox, a knockout victory over Andrei Sirotkin, a knockout victory over Bilal Akwe, and he also has a unanimous decision victory over Mike Guy. And in my opinion, this fight is going to be very, very competitive while it lasts, but I am edging the former 2-time middleweight world champion Daniel Jacobs to get the victory. Not only do I think Daniel Jacobs is more experienced, I think Jacobs is just going to sort of control the fight, although I think that John Ryder is going to make it very competitive and close with his sort of pressure fighting style. I just think that Daniel Jacobs will be a bit more composed, and I think that if he fights how he did against Rosado, he will lose. But if he fights like how we usually see Daniel Jacobs fight, he should win this fight, but I still think it will be competitive. I think Daniel Jacobs will be the one sort of on the outside and at mid-range trying to land counter punches, while John Ryder will be the one trying to come forward and toughen up or sort of rough up Daniel Jacobs with his body shots, big hooks to the head and whatnot. Jonathan Ryder really does go true to his nickname. I mean, he fights like a gorilla. He comes forward, throws shots to the body, to the head. He fights like a Mexican-style fighter. I mean, he is very sort of stocky in that way, like Mike Tyson likes to come forward, throwing a lot of punches. And, his style is very fun to watch, and it proved very effective against Callum Smith. However, the judges did not see it that way, but still, I think he will have a decent amount of success against Daniel Jacobs. And Jacobs, I mean, he really has to throw punches in this fight. I mean, in his last fight against Rosado, I mean, he didn't throw many punches. It was very boring. He didn't really do much. But now we have to see the Daniel Jacobs that we're used to seeing, the very slick, powerful, and very well-composed fighter that we've always seen in his world title bouts, etc. I mean, we need to see this Daniel Jacobs, even the Jacobs that fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He was very fast, powerful. I mean, still, I mean, we need to see Daniel Jacobs step it up. And if he's going to fight like how we did in November of 2020, he's going to lose this fight and lose a possible opportunity at the world title, as this is a WBA Eliminator. The winner of this fight could possibly get maybe even Canelo Alvarez, but most likely a shot at David Morrell Jr.'s regular WBA belt. But how I see this fight going down specifically, I think early on, John Ryder will have a lot of success. I think that Ryder will make the earlier, or should I say the first half of the fight very competitive. He could definitely be ahead slightly. And it will really be John Ryder's coming forward style, his pressure fighting style, really just roughening him up, roughening Daniel Jacobs up, and just putting him on the ropes and laying big shots to the body, trying to wear him down. But I think that will lead to Daniel Jacobs sort of figuring out John Ryder and knowing where he could pinpoint his shots, where he could land his shots, where he could be most effective. And I think that in the second half of the fight, we will start to see Daniel Jacobs flourish and win a majority of those rounds. Not that I'm saying that he's going to win every single round in the second half. I think he will win a majority of them. Like out of the last 6, he might win 4 out of the 6, obviously, and giving John Ryder 2. And in the first half of the fight, I mean, we could see after 6, John Ryder up maybe even like 58-56, something like that. It could be a really close fight. Maybe it could be a draw 57-57. It could be really close after the first half. And I think it will be a very competitive fight in my opinion. And as I mentioned before, first half we could see John Ryder be ahead 58-56. Could be 57-57, could even be 58-56. Jacobs' way, I mean, it could be really, really close. And even in the second half, it could be like that. But I think that Daniel Jacobs will start to pull away a bit at the fight. And I think that he will start to land his shots better, land more counter punches, and really just start to be more effective. And so comment down below your thoughts on this fight, who you think is going to win, whether you think John Ryder has a shot to pull out this upset. John Ryder, he's been looking very good recently, so I mean, I would not be surprised, but I'm edging Daniel Jacobs to get a close, very close majority decision victory. I could see the judges scoring this bout anywhere from like 116 to 112 in favor of Jacobs, like 115 to 113 in favor of Jacobs, and I could see one judge having it a draw at 114 to 114. And I really think the scorecards could vary like that, considering that there will be, in my opinion, a lot of swing rounds in this fight based on each of these guys' styles. One being a pressure fighter, one being a very slick and very nice, powerful counterpuncher. So overall, I believe that Daniel Jacobs will get a nice majority decision victory over John Ryder to win the WBA Super-Middleweight World Title Eliminator. And yeah, that's really it. I'm NB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.